has a beginning and an ending, and time can be measured. Because our life is but a vapor, we often don't understand time, but God is always on time. Time was laid out from the beginning, and we cannot change these set times. In the fullness of time, God sent forth His Son, born of a woman born under the law, unto the redemption of man. But now God also had to redeem us from the curse of the law, because they held on to the law. Jesus was crucified right in the middle of the final week of Daniel's prophecy, and in the fullness of time. This was a reformation unto a restoration. Acts 3 says, this Jesus will come again, but there will be times of refreshing until the restoration of all things, and there remains a rest. Jesus Christ brought reformation. No man can do this. Martin Luther brought a refreshing. The fullness of time was the major turning point in history. In the dispensation of the fullness of time, He gathered together in one all things in Christ, both in heaven and those which are on earth, even in Him. Everything changed. Heaven changed, earth changed, man changed, and hell changed. It was a total turnaround. Jesus brought in the new, but they held on to the old, and now they brought on themselves a day of vengeance that Jesus never announced. He only called the year of favor. The year of favor is the time that the kingdom is opened on the earth. But now the day of vengeance was to remove the old. Now the kingdom could only be entered through tribulation. Persecution was the Jews persecuting the church. But the tribulation and the great time of trouble is when Rome, the rod of iron, turned on the Christians and the Jews to finally remove the sacrifice system so that the new can function. In this dispensation of the fullness of time, the battle of the ages took place, and for the first time someone rose from the dead. Enoch, the seventh from Adam, never died, and they never found Moses' body. Lazarus was raised from the dead, but he died again. But here someone that was dead rose from the dead. Jesus' resurrection marked the end of death as the end. He appeared to Mary and said, "Don't touch me. I have not been to the Father." Daniel saw this in a vision when the Ancient of Days was seated and the Son of Man came in the clouds of heaven, and the kingdom was given him. The same day he blew over his disciples, birthing the second generation man. As we have borne the image of the earthly, now we'll bear the image of the heavenly. The first man, Adam, became a living soul, but the last Adam became a quickening spirit. Our conscience is opened, and no one ever will have an excuse. Jesus was the firstborn from the dead. And Revelation 20 says, those that have part in the first resurrection will have no part in the second death, which is the eternal lake of fire. Revelation 14:13, blessed are those that die in Christ. They rest from their labor, and their work follow them.